Hi, my name's Emily and I'm part of the FutureMe Team here at Newcastle College. This session is going to cover everything you need to know about student finance to be able to go away and get your application submitted. We advise you get your application in as soon as possible after watching this video.
Students at uni or college have two main costs: tuition fees and living costs. The good news is that there's lots of financial help available to help pay for these. There's a tuition fee loan to cover fees, and a loan to help pay for living costs, such as rent, books, or travel. As with any other loan, these have to be repaid. The difference here is that student loans don't have to be paid back until the student has finished or left their course, and their income is over a certain amount of money. The amount repaid each month will be based on their income, not how much they borrowed. Interest will be charged from the day the first student finance payment is made to the student until the loan is repaid in full or cancelled. There's also extra financial help available for students with a disability or students who have children or an adult who depends on them financially. Unlike loans, these don't usually have to be paid back.
All students, if eligible, are entitled to 4 years of funding from student finance. To meet the eligibility requirements, you must be a home student UK national, you must have lived in the UK, Channel Islands or Isle of Man for 3 years before starting your course, and also not have studied higher education before in the past in any country. For any students from the EU, it is slightly different and has recently changed due to Brexit. So, if you are starting your course on or after the 1st of August 2021, which most of you will be, you must have pre-settled status under the EU settlement scheme to be able to receive support from student finance. If you came to the UK after 1st of January 2021, you may need to apply for a visa to study in the UK. If this is you and you are unsure or would like some help with your application, please speak to Joanne from Student Services. Your student loan is split into two different categories: tuition fee loan and maintenance loan. Let's start with tuition fee loans. All public universities can charge up to £9,250 per year in tuition fees. However, this does not have to be paid up front. Tuition fee loans are available from student finance to cover these fees, and as long as you meet the eligibility criteria, you can borrow the full amount. This does not depend on household income. All students are able to borrow their full amount for their tuition fees. They are also paid directly to the college or university once you have enrolled on your course. It's not a case of you have received the money and then you'll have to pay the college or university yourself. It is all completely internal. Moving on to maintenance loans. These are also available from student finance to help cover your living costs whilst you study. Everyone, again if eligible, is entitled to a set amount. You can also then apply for an additional amount on top of this. The additional amount that you receive depends on where you live and study, as well as your household income. Unlike your tuition loan, this is paid directly into your bank account 3 times across the academic year. You can then spend on whatever you like, such as accommodation, transport, and food and drink, just like being paid from a job. The amount you can expect will be covered later on in the session. As well as the 2 basic loans, there's also other loans and grants available from student finance. These include Parents' Learning Allowance, which helps with course-related costs for students with dependent children, childcare grants to cover up to 85% of childcare costs, and adult dependent grants of up to £3,263. If you would like more information about any of these, it can be found on the government website. NHS BSA training grants are also available for students studying certain health-related courses. Please contact FutureMe for more information. Disability student allowance is also available to cover study-related costs you have because of a mental health problem, long-term illness or any other disability. The different types available include general disability allowance, non-medical helper support, special equipment allowance and travel support. If you'd like more information, again this can be found on the government website, or speak to your relevant FutureMe coach if you'd like some help. As mentioned earlier, if you apply for the full maintenance amount, it will depend on where you live and study as well as your household income. This can be seen in the table on the screen. If you decide to move out of home, the amount you can receive is higher to cover living costs. If you are moving to London, then you can receive even more because of living costs being much more expensive within the capital city. To find out a more accurate estimate for your maintenance loan, you can use the student finance calculator. This will estimate your maintenance amount dependent on your household income. Just visit gov.uk/student-finance-calculator.
Students will have to pay back anything they borrow, but how much they repay each month depends on their income, not how much they borrowed. They won't have to repay their loan until they've finished or left their course and are earning over a certain amount. If they earn less than that, they won't have to repay anything. If they're earning more than that, they'll repay 9% of anything over that. And if they don't finish repaying their loan within 30 years, it will be cancelled, so it won't be with them forever. Full-time students will be due to start repaying their loan the April after they finish or leave their course. Part-time students will be due to start repaying the April 4 years after the start of their course, or the April after they finish or leave their course, whichever comes first. But remember, they'll only repay if their income is over the repayment threshold. If they're employed, their employer will take their repayment directly from their salary at the same time as tax and national insurance. If they're self-employed, they'll make repayments directly to HMRC at the same time they pay tax. If they go overseas, they'll need to repay their loan directly to us, so they need to make sure they let us know before they go. They're charged interest from the day we make their first payment until their loan has been repaid in full or cancelled. But it's important to remember that the amount of interest they're charged doesn't affect the amount they repay each month.
An example of how the repayments work. So if you were to gain a job after graduating and started earning £28,000 a year, you would be £705 over the repayment threshold, meaning you would pay back 9% of £705. This works out at just £5 a month. This just shows you how little you will pay back of your student loan, and as the video explained, it comes out of your bank with the tax payment, so you will never see it. It will just be visible on your payslip. This does, however, also mean that you cannot avoid paying it either. It is automatically checked with HMRC, so if you do hit the threshold, payments will start automatically. Some quick facts about repayments. How much you repay is based on your income, not how much you borrow. If your income changes, either rising or falling, your repayment amount will automatically change too. If your income drops below the threshold or you stop working, you won't have to repay anything until your income rises above this again. Any loan remaining 30 years after you're due to start repaying will be cancelled. And if you leave your course early, you'll still have to repay your loan, but the repayment process may be different and you may have to pay it back earlier than usual. In order to complete your finance application, you will need a few things in order to apply. Firstly, it will take around 30 minutes when you start. Make sure you have enough time to complete the full process. You will then need the following documents: your passport or birth certificate details, course name and university details, your national insurance number, and your UK bank account details. Apply for your finance as if you have your first choice place, and inform Student Finance of the correct cost of the course when you complete your application. In order to make sure you receive the correct amount of maintenance loan, evidence is required. Who needs to provide the evidence depends on your age and living situation. So as you can see on the screen, if you are under 25 years old and living with parents or guardians, it's based on your parent or guardian's income. Do not include your own employment. If you are under 25 years old and living independently with no partner, you must have lived on your own for the past 3 full tax years before starting your degree. If you have not, it will be based on your parent or guardian's income. If you are under 25 years old and living with a partner but not married, again it would then also be based on your parent or guardian's income. Moving on to the other side, so if you are over 25 years old and living with a partner or guardian, it's based on your income only. If you're over 25 and living independently with no partner, it's based on your income only again. However, if you're over 25 and living with your married partner, it's based on both incomes combined. The application will guide you to which specific income evidence you will need to provide. Please also note that in some circumstances exceptions can be made, so if you feel like the current requirements don't fit your living situation, please contact your FutureMe coach who can help you further. The The next few slides are screenshots of what you should expect to see when starting your application. The first page will give you two options: apply for student finance and support a student's application. When first applying, you need to click on the blue one to apply for student finance. Once you've completed your application, if required, they will contact your parents or guardians to submit evidence for your maintenance loan. This will require them to create an account, and when doing so, they will click on the green to support your application. You will then select the blue again for higher education, then select undergraduate. Then you will need to select if you'll be studying full-time or part-time. And finally, select the relevant academic year. Once you are through all the previous sections, you will then arrive at the start of the application process. That contains 7 sections. 1. About you. 2. Previous study. 3. Course and fees. 4. Living costs. 5. Financial info. 6. Additional info. And 7. Submit. You will then go on to complete all these sections and submit your application. If you have chosen to study your degree at Newcastle College University Centre, then there is also finance support available from the college as well as student finance. This includes a HE bursary, which is an award of £400 to £1,000 paid direct to you in 3 termly payments. The amount you receive is based on household income or your postcode area. Secondly is the HE Engagement Bursary. This is an award of £550, which is split into 10 payments paid every 4 weeks based on attendance of at least 90%. You also have the option of utilising this up to £200 of the award for laptop vouchers to go towards buying a laptop. The remainder of the award may be used towards travel costs. And finally, there's the Hardship Fund, not a guaranteed fund, but for learners who are in severe financial hardship during their studies. For further information on any of these bursaries or funds, please contact Student Services. For students studying elsewhere, then do have a look at what financial support is available from your chosen college or university, as it might be a case of similar kind of funding is available for you when studying. So, what's next? Prepare your evidence and how much you want to borrow. Create your account if you do not already have one and apply early. The deadline is the 20th of May, so make sure to get your applications in before then to guarantee your funding for September. Once you have your grades, inform Student Finance England of your chosen university if this has changed, and make sure you declare to your university if you have any additional needs. You may be entitled to additional support on top of your finance. If anyone would like any help or support with their application, please contact your relevant FutureMe Team member via the contact details on the screen or via Teams chat. And also anyone who requires help regarding new EU student requirements, as mentioned earlier in the session, please contact Student Services. Again, these contact details should be on the screen for you right now.